Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining today's webinar, AMSET webinar. And the title of is Why Learning Data Science is a Must. And I'll be introducing the speaker today, Mr. Mohamed Wani. But before that, I'd like to introduce AMSET to you, just to share with you what AMSET stands for and what we are striving toward. So AMSET stands for Association of Muslim Scientists, Engineers, and Technology Professionals. The website address you can learn more about AMSET is www.amsetweb.net. AMSET is a registered not-for-profit organization in Indiana. Of course, we're looking to expand it in other states. If you want to join our listserv, you can subscribe at our Google Groups, amset@googlegroups.com. We also have a YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is shown here as tinyurl. .com/AMSETYT. We also have a Facebook page. You can look into Facebook and look for AMSET Association. It will pop up. Our LinkedIn page is also there. You can connect to AMSET through LinkedIn. Our Twitter feed is at AMSET20. Membership can be, we encourage whoever is watching today, please consider becoming a member of AMSET. We are always looking for support, and I hope that you will visit us. And after watching the lecture webinar today, I hope that you'll be more interested knowing about what AMSET does and look forward to doing in the future. And hopefully that will encourage you to become a member. So currently we have a very small group of volunteers who are serving in the executive committee of AMSET. My name is Sohail Anwar. I am a professor at a university here in Indiana. It's Purdue University campus in Indianapolis. Immediate past president is Professor Affan Badr. Vice President Professor Tahir Saif. He's at University of Urbana-Champaign. And our secretary is Mr. Rashid Rabbi. Treasurer, Mr. Asad Muhammad, and our advisor, who is also past president of AMSET, Dr. Masroor Shah. Our website is maintained by Mr. Rashid Rabbi. Our career session and fair are organized and managed by Mr. Asad Muhammad. So what is the aim and purpose of AMSET? We strive to provide guidance and assistance to AMSET professionals as well as students in their education and careers. We also would like to enhance networking amongst professionals and business with common interests. Also, one of the other objectives of AMSET is to improve the distribution and dissemination of technical information and Islamic knowledge. Additionally, we also would like to provide a platform for Islamic scholars to deal with ethical implications of technological developments, to advocate for public policies based on responsible use of science and technology, and to promote activities which are scientific, educational, religious, cultural, and charitable in accordance with Islamic teachings and US Constitution. Also, as part of that, we'd like to facilitate science-related activities such as competitions, scientific competitions, such as robotics and so on, to improve academic standards at Islamic schools, and wherever we are, if it could be Indiana or it could be in Washington or New York, depending on wherever AMSET activities are. Also, we'd like for our masajid and Islamic centers to adopt environmentally friendly practices, and we'd like to be a facilitator for those kind of activities. So some of the ethical issues that could arise would be like 3D bioprinting of tissues and organs, and how do we deal with the question? Is it right thing? Is it halal versus haram and things like that? And also technological applications in medicine, climate change, human evolution. There's some controversy there, AI, and other bunch of other ethical issues that could arise, and AMSET strives to address in a scholarly way through scientific and religious analysis. And then these are some of the pictures, snapshots from prior AMSET sessions. And again, the AMSET has been organizing sessions with at the ISNA convention annually, but we started this webinar last year on a monthly basis, and this is another way we are trying to reach the audience in North America and abroad. This is another one. And finally, I'd like to provide some information about membership. Anybody can be a member. If you're scientifically oriented, interested about AMSET activities. The fee is a nominal $30 per year, which is pretty small. And again, we need your support. So please become a member. If you're convinced that this is a good forum for you to join. And also, we encourage you to establish a chapter in your city or area. If you're outside of Indiana, we already have a chapter in Indiana. Also establish discussion groups to build bridges between science and religious teachings, and help college and high school students by becoming a mentor. So with that, thank you very much for coming on board today on this YouTube channel. And with that, I would like to stop share that and introduce our speaker today. And I'd like to ask Mr. Mo Medwani to come on video. So a few words about Mr. Medwani. He is a PhD candidate in artificial intelligence. He has 4 master's degrees in a master's in machine learning, master's in data science, and IT, as well as an MBA. He has 20 plus years of experience in IT area, service delivery management. He has 8 plus years of experience in data science and related technologies. And he is also the founder of Big Bang Data Science Solutions. That's the company he founded. So with that, I will give the floor to Mr. Medwani. And the title is Why Learning Data Science is a Must. Thank you, Brother Mo. Please go ahead.
Sure, brother. Can you please give me the control to share my screen?
Yes. Let's see. Can you try now?
Let me see. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, can you now see my screen, right? Please confirm.
Yes, I do. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you, Brother Suhail, for the invite. I'm happy to share. I'm happy to join this live webinar. It's a pleasure to be here, and inshallah ta'ala, I look forward to do more webinars, especially in the field of data science, which is an evolving science, and which I believe every member of the Ummah should put an effort to learn because it's the future. So this is the agenda that we'll be talking about today. Of course, we might not have time to cover everything, and today is an introductory session. Inshallah, I look forward for definitely multiple sessions, multiple webinars on the subject. So I will be talking about data explosion, why data science, what is data science, and we'll talk about some type of analytics, we'll talk about the data science portfolio, a data science process. And of course, the most important part is if I want to start a career in data science, what need to do? What do I need to do? So if you have time, we will talk about machine learning, what is the difference between machine learning and data science, the big picture machine learning, the limitation, the challenges, the success of using machine learning. And of course, we are gonna dive deep, we'll talk about the a subset or subcategory of machine learning. It's called deep learning. So that is the agenda. And, if you have chance, we will cover, if you have time, we will cover it all. Otherwise, we are gonna simply start and we'll stop at 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock. And as I said, I will be happy to conduct more sessions or more webinars in the future. So this is me, and this is about me, as Brother Suhail already mentioned. My name is Mohamed Wani. I'm a PhD candidate in artificial intelligence. I have 4 master degrees, an MBA, a master in IT, a master in analytics, and master in artificial intelligence or machine learning. I have over 20 years of experience in IT. I've been doing service delivery all my life. And I have, right now, I have almost 9 years of experience in data science and related technology. If we have time, I will be happy to share my story, how I get into data science, which is a motivating story that could help and could push someone out of the ummah to switch the gear to learn data science. So why you should become a data scientist? Why you should invest in to become a data scientist? That is probably a question that should come to your mind. And of course, you are right if you ask it that question. Why should I invest? Why should I put effort, money, time to become a data scientist? So few things, there are 6 reasons. There are of course more than 6 reasons why I believe every one of the ummah should learn data science. Number 1, data science is the future, is the fuel of this century, is the future. If you don't have a data science skill set, if you don't have analytical skill set, you might have a lot of problems securing a spot in job market. If as a business, as an organization, if you don't have an analytical team already established, you are going to be either soon or later, you are going to be out of the business. So that is how important data science is for the future. So also data science is in high demand. Right now, most organizations, and they are switching into data-driven decision-making. They are switching into automation. So we have a lot of data, but we don't have enough experienced folks or people to analyze that data to help us find insight and patterns to help us, of course, make better decisions. That is why data science is in high demand, and this is just the right time to learn data science or invest in data science in general. So data science, the reason number 3 is data science is a lucrative career. You are going to see a lot of growth, money-wise, it's great. Less stressful than any of the jobs, probably 80 jobs that you have worked on, etc. So data science is a beautiful, it's the 6th 21st century job you might think of. So number 4, you may, with data science skill set, you could make a better life, a better world by simply analyzing some of the human behaviors and try to improve them using data. Let's say that you are working for airlines. Now you could save lives by simply analyzing logs and sensors and determine or predict when an engine is going to shut off. So that is how you could save lives, by simply analyzing the data and come up with the better decisions ahead of time. So number 5, data science is the career or is the job of the future. If you don't have skill set, you're out of the market. So number 6, big money right now because it's in high demand. And it has been, I read an article that is, they forecasted the need of $23 million jobs or data scientists in the US market only by the year 2023. That is how high demand data scientists and data science is in general. So that is why data science. Now, this, at least one of these reasons listed here should motivate you to invest and put effort and time and money to become a data scientist. That's one reason. So in the last 4 years of my training, training online or my in the training business, especially in analytics, I have heard so many from so many numerous brothers and sisters across the globe asking me a question: is data science for me? And they've been complaining about their background. I didn't have an IT background. I am not a mathematician. I am not a statistician. I am not this and that. I am 50 years old. I am so is still data science for me. And unfortunately, I really don't like those type of questions. Learning has no age. You could start anywhere. But trust me, if you are a person who loves to solve puzzles and find patterns, data science is for you. Regardless of your age, regardless of your background, if you are the type of person who loves to solve puzzles in general or find patterns within, within a data, within just find the patterns, then data science is for you. So that is how you would your uh, evaluate your readiness to become a data scientist. So before we start about data science in general, let's go step back, step back a little, a few steps back, talk about the origin of data science. So data science is all about data, the science of the data, and this data science it has been there probably since since day one. And it's all about data, but in the last probably 15 now 5 to 15 years now, the lot of light has been shed on data science because of what? Because of data explosion. Now right now we are living in a mass data production, and these are some facts, some numbers that that you could that this is some facts of data consumption, data generation. And just as a matter of fact, like sorry guys, so this is Walmart. So actually, so we are creating almost 2.5 quintillion 2.5 quintillion sorry 2.5 quintillion of bytes of data. And this is, I believe, this is 3 years old facts about data generation, and it could be more than that. But regardless, 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day, that is a huge amount of data being generated. So, and almost 90% of data that have been generated in the world today, it has been created in the last 2 or 3 years. So Walmart has handles 1 million customer transactions every hour. That is almost 24 right now. This, as I said, this is a 33 years old fact. So it could be more than that. It could be 2 million, 3 million. But regardless, 1 million customer transactions every day. That is 24 million every day. Yeah, so 1 million customer transactions every hour. That is 24 million every day. So also Twitter generates 12 terabytes of data every day. Airbus, generate 10 terabyte every minute. Then NYSE generates a terabyte every month. So that is a huge amount of data being generated. Unfortunately, we do not have enough skilled people who can get this data and zoom into it deeply, analyze it, investigate it, torture it, and try to find some patterns, some knowledge, some information, some meaningful insight that could lead us to a better life, a better world, a better decision making. And here comes into the picture the needs of someone like you, a data scientist, who could acquire the skills and use this data to give us an insight. Okay, I'm going to skip a lot of these slides, but here are some, another screenshot of how much data been generated, like YouTube. And this data here, these number facts here, they are measured per minute. So we in YouTube, 600 videos on YouTube every minute. If you do the math, that is how the amount of data being generated by YouTube only. So the same thing applies for Gmail, for email providers. Almost 200 million emails sent every day, 2 million in Gmail, 400,000 and minutes talking and Skype. 3,500 yeah, for security trading. 400,000 for Twitters, etc. There's a lot of lot of data being generated. In the past, we were the consumer of the data. Few entities generates data like TVs, radio, newspapers, and we were the consumer. We only read, consume. We don't produce data. But with the evolving of technology, smartphones, tablets, social media, everybody of us is data generator, and at the same time, everybody of us is data consumer. So we generate the data and we consume the data. And as I said, the problem lies into the loss of this data. This data, as probably is not useful, is not used in a useful way, I would say, because of the lack of experience, skilled people like you, like me, who can use this data and try to find some meaningful insight. So one thing that you need to be aware of, regardless of regardless of what you feel about your job at this point of time, there is a chance, unfortunately, that you might end up losing your job in the future, because this data science and artificial intelligence, including machine learning, deep learning, unfortunately, they are stalling jobs from us. And so this is some old statistics. So 5% of all jobs could be automated today. So if there is something that you could do for me in a month, I could design an algorithm that could do it in 5 seconds. So what do I need to invite, to hire you, spend, pay you, and of course support you and sponsor you? Why do I need to do that? If there is an algorithm in the market that I could use and save and do the same job and in a short amount of time compared to your 3 months or 2 months or probably even a day. That is a lot. That is a lot of difference. And if you are in the management, unfortunately, there is a higher chance that you will lose your job because of automation. Everything that we do, most of the things that we do today, could be automated in the nearest future. And when that happens, unfortunately, we are going to be victims. So that is why we really need to invest in learning data science. Number one, to secure our spot in the future. Number two, to avoid being a victim of data science or machine learning or analytics in general. And even though we are losing jobs because of data science, data science has created a lot of jobs. There's a lot of jobs that could save your career. So we still need the trainers, someone who can, machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence. They are dumb system. Now we make them smart. The way we use them, the way we utilize them, make them smart. So the way we train them. So we still need a human to train these systems, this smart system, these artificial intelligence systems. We need the trainer, and also we need someone to explain the outcome if you build a system to predict something. So of course we are going to need someone who can help us interpret, explain how the work is being done, how the data has been processed, explain the pipeline of ML pipeline, etc., and explain the output to the management and decision maker to make a better decision. So we are still going to need someone to explain the work of machine learning or artificial intelligence or data science in general. Of course, we still, once you build a system, once you build an artificial system, or that the artificial system would expire, has an expiration date. It could expire in 5 seconds. It could expire in 5 years. Depends on the data being used. And nevertheless, now the algorithms or the modeling or this type of systems, smart systems, they will expire the sooner the data assumptions has been changed. So we need someone to sustain them, to keep monitoring them, to keep evaluating them while they are live, they are implemented into production. So learn data science, number one, to avoid being a victim of automation, and number two, to increase your chance to get a job in the field as either system, artificial intelligence developer or trainer, artificial intelligence system explainer, or artificial intelligence sustainer. So either you do it or you are going to be a victim, and unfortunately that is the case. And I was a victim of this artificial intelligence or analytics in general almost 6 years ago. And in December 2014, I had to face some music because I was not prepared. I didn't have the skills to do my job as an analyst. So what is data science? So now we just talked about the explosion of the data. We talked about the needs of being a data scientist. We talked about is data science for me? And probably the second question or the third question that could come to your mind is, what is data science? Unfortunately, there is not, we are still debating, they are still debating on, there's a lot of debates among practitioners, data scientists, in industry area and also in the academic about what is data science. If you were to compare a program like an MBA with compare 3 MBAs in US, you are going to see that these programs, they are still, they are identical at certain level. They could probably be, they are identical 99% or 90% or 95%. Why they are identical? Because the MBA is disciplined, is a mature discipline. It's been in the while, it's been there in a while. So we got to the maturity, we got it to the maturity. Unfortunately, that is not the case with data science. Data science is still, even though it's been a while, it's still in the early stage. A lot of debate on definition of data science. And but it is, and if you were to compare two programs, to data science, to master programs in data science, within the state itself, you are going to see a lot of difference between them. This simply because data science is not a matured discipline yet. But regardless of what of those difference in defining the concept of data science is simply the ability to take any data, any format from any source, and ability to understand this data, understand the format of the data, understand the structure of the data, understand the format, understand the source of the data, understand anything related to the data, and process this data. Processing, it could be data manipulation, data pre-processing, data preparation, like transforming categorical data into numerical data, dealing with outliers, with missing values, with duplicate records, with errors, with typos, etc. That is called a processing. Then extract values from it, extract insight, visualize those insights, and communicate them. So that is the data science from the helicopter view in nutshell. Data science is the ability to take any data, understand this data, pre-process the data, extract the data, visualize it, and communicate the output. So data science is all about the data, And in a nutshell, data science is the science of the data. So, and this is one of the my favorite quotes that credited to Ronald Coase. So he said the data science is simply torturing the data until it confesses to something. If you don't reveal some insight soon, I am going to be forced to slice, dice, and drill, simply torturing the data until it reveals something meaningful. In other words, if you are using IT terminology, simply zooming deep into your data, investigating your data until you find something meaningful. And the tools they will be using, it's some probably advanced tools like Python, R in terms of programming languages. In terms of tools, you could use so many licensed tools like some business intelligence tools like Tableau, Power BI, or predictive tools like RapidMiner, BigML, Sasson Price Miner, and there's a long list. So that is data science in general, is simply torturing the data until this data reveals to something meaningful. So data science is a multidisciplinary field. It's not a one discipline by itself. It's a combination. It lies in the intersection of so many discipline fields. So to be a superhero data scientist, you still need to know a little about data mining. You don't have to be an expert. You have to know statistics. You don't have to be an expert. You have to know patterns recognition, machine learning, the database, data preprocessing, data visualization, but you really don't have to be an expert to be a superhero data scientist. Data science is a journey. Learn as much as you can and utilize it from day one. So data science is a multidisciplinary field where you need statistics, you need math, you need machine learning, you need so many things, but you really don't have to be an expert in all of these fields to be a superhero data scientist. Okay, so in general, if I were to hire you as data scientist, is for one simple reason, and that is to help me make decisions at the end of the day. So you are going to be hired as data scientist. You have access to all the data, probably to data, and this data could be in the format that you really are familiar with, like tabular data, or where you have rectangular arrays of data, rows and columns. That is the main useful data for analytics. But that probably will be the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is the data is in different shape, like it could be in the audio format, video format, images. It could be PDF. It could be text. It could be scattered across different resources like probably cloud, database, websites, etc. So your job is to get that data, analyze it in terms of investigating this data, if try to find analyzing the hidden similarities, the signals, the relationship between the variables. So that is called analytics in general. So once you analyze it, of course, you are trying to find certain patterns. Sometimes we know what we are looking for. Sometimes you're simply trying to discover it, by playing with the data. And at the end of the day, this insight will be given to the management, to the organization managers or the decision makers to make a better decision. That is one reason I would see why why you should be why we should hire as data scientists. Is at the end of the day is to help the management make a better decisions, daily decisions on the data, not on the experience. No one cares about your experience or initiatives, or what we care about is what the data is telling us. Of course, data science is not substitution of someone's experience or initiatives, but still it's an addition to that. So we still need your experience, you still need your creativity, your initiative, initiativity and to make a better decisions. But we rely heavily on the data. So why do you need to learn data science? Now we know what is data science. We know how important to become a data scientist. Then the question that comes to your mind again is why data science? So again, data science, this is some, data science is the future, and data science relies heavily on the data, and the data is the new oil. So if you don't have the skills to refine this oil, you might not be able to use it, and your competitor might be ahead, advanced on you. So that is the problem. So the data is the future. The data is the fuel of the future. If you don't require the skills to refine, pre-process this oil, then it might not help you in any ways. So data science is simply turning data into a product. And according to Aurelie Rodar report in 2011, the future belongs to the companies, organizations, and people that have the ability to transform a data into a product. That is the future. The future is in your hand if you have the skills to transform any data, regardless of the format, regardless of the source, regardless of the shape, transform this data into a meaningful insight, meaningful product to help the management make a better decision. That is why data science. And in career-wise, which is going to be simply what interests us most, data science is 6 times faster than any IT in any IT career in across industries. So it's faster 6 times. And according to Harvard Business, data science is the sexiest career of the 21st century. So less stress. There is a fun. It's all of fun, all about having fun. Dealing with the data. A lot of fun. Less stressful career I ever had in my life since I became a data scientist, and I never had to deal with type of stress that I had prior becoming, try transforming into a data science career. And according to LinkedIn, data science is number one, is the number one job that got recruiter attentions since 2014. And of course, it is going to be the same for probably a couple of 10 years, probably a couple of years ahead. And according to Glassdoor, data science is job number one to pursue, to go after, to chase, to hunt since 2016. And now we are 2021, and it is going to be the same for the next couple of years. And McKinsey, this is a report that they come up with back in 2013. They forecasted the need of almost 1.5 million data scientists for this market only. But the latest forecast that I came across somewhere online, they forecasted the need of 23 million data scientists by the year 2023, 2 years from now, in this market only. So when we are talking about data science in general, we are talking about analytics. And there are 4 types of analytics. There are 4 types of analytics. The first type of analytics which probably more than around 90% plus of industries, they are doing it today. That is called descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics is simply trying to explain to the management what has happened in the past. You lost a client. That is the answer. We lost a client. That is what happened. So you get the data, you analyze the data, and you put some effort, try to find answers to questions like where, when, how, what. That is descriptive analytics, simply trying to find answers in the past. And there is another level of analytics. It's called diagnostic analytics. It's one more advanced than descriptive. It's simply trying to identify the reason something happened. So the descriptive analytics is simply trying to find out what is going on within an industry, within an organization, in terms of, for example, losing clients. We are losing clients. Then you investigate your data to find out what is exactly is happening. And diagnostic analytics is trying to answer questions in terms of why we are losing clients, why we are successful in this state and we fail to do business in the other state, why I did not pass the exam, why I did not graduate, why the product was not successful as we predicted. That is the answer. That is called diagnostic analytics. And as I said, probably 90+% of organizations they already doing. They already went ahead of with descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. One advanced analytics type is called predictive analytics. And predictive analytics, so in here we are trying to predict the probability of something to happen before it happened. So we're trying to indicate what could happen. What is the likelihood something is going to happen? What is the probability a client will churn next month? What is the likelihood this product will fail if we were to launch it in March? So simply trying to answer some questions from the future, basing our prediction from what happened in the past. And the last most advanced analytics is called prescriptive analytics. Is simply recommending the best way to do a business. So prescriptive analytics is a combination of descriptive analytics and predictive analytics. So these are the type of analytics that you might end up working on as a data scientist. Descriptive analytics, trying to answer questions where, when, what. And diagnostic analytics, trying to find the reason or answer a question why. And predictive analytics is trying to predict the future or answering the question, what is the probability? What is the likelihood something is going to happen? And prescriptive analytics is answering the questions, what would be the best, the optimal way of doing a business? Or if I have a list of options, which one is the best? So I don't have to try all of them, but I want to pick the best with the first shot. So how we could tell that, using data. So again, the descriptive analytics is answering the question how many, where, what, why, and diagnostic answers questions why. Predictive analytics answer the questions, some prediction questions, like for example, who will respond to the campaign, when the subscription stops, who will respond to this product, who will open this email, who will call us, who will churn. So that is something that is we didn't have any clue if it's going to happen. So, but we could calculate the probability of an event to happen or not happening by simply understanding the patterns from the past history. And prescriptive is a combination of descriptive analytics and predictive analytics. So luckily, data science is transparent. Once you understand the process, once you understand the concept, once you understand the methodology and the methodology, you could apply it across on any business problems as far as you have the data across industries. So you could work in media entertainment, is the same process. Gather, understand the problem, gather the data, analyze the data, build a model, evaluate the model, implement the model into production. The same process that once you master the process, you could use it, you could utilize it across industries, for any business problem, regardless of the industry. So you could use it in media entertainment, you could use it in utilities, You could use it with telecommunication organizations, transportation organizations, security industry, retail industry, finance, healthcare, just name it, name an industry. As far as you have the data, you could, I believe you could use, analyze the data using any data science process. That is the beauty of learning data science. So it's not, it's a neutral field. Once you learn it, you could work for anybody, any company, any industry, as far as the data is available. So just name it, from advertisement to healthcare, almost every industry now is adopting these technologies, almost. And this is a graph, showing where the data been used in across industries, in agriculture, in finance, pharmaceuticals, automotive, healthcare, public, consumer. It is a lot, So that is, as I said, that is the beauty about data science. Once you acquire the skills, it doesn't matter the industry you'll be working for, because it's transparent. It's transparent. Once you master the concepts, you master the skills needed to analyze the data. It's all about the data, and the data is neutral. It's not related to any industry. Okay, so data science, it could be used in different level of analytics, different level of area of analytics. Could be used in consumer analytics, trying to analyze the behavior of how our client are behaving towards a product, towards a service provided, and improve the quality of the service, improve the quality of the product by simply analyzing the behavior on the fly. So you could do that. This is the beauty of data science. And also we could use it to improve our finance, to generate more revenue for the business by simply understanding the finance, statistically, and also understanding, the drivers or the predictors of success and predictors of failure in terms of generating more revenue for the business. And it could be used to improve, to analyze the performance of a machine, of a system, of a human, of employees. So by simply analyzing the activities, analyzing the data, analyzing the logs, analyzing the generated, or the data generated by sensors. And you could use it for a risk analytics. So you want to make a decision on either to start a new business somewhere. Now, what is the risk? Of course, there is a higher chance that you could fail. So before you take that step, data science could help you make a better decision, either to proceed or just to give up on that decision. That is the beauty of knowing data science. It is going to help you make a better decision regardless. Okay, so I'm going to skip some of these because we are running out of time. No. So data science portfolio. So now let's say that you are interested in learning data science. What are some of the competencies that you need to acquire to be a superhero data scientist? In general, I'm going to talk about 5. In general, you are going to need 5 competencies, 5 helicopter view skills that you need to acquire, you need to develop for, sometimes in your journey if you want to become a superhero data scientist. So the first skill set is quantitative skills. It's simply you need to know some mathematics, at least in calculus or college algebra. You don't have to know it all, but at least have some mathematical mindset. And you need to know some statistics. You don't need to be a statistician or mathematician to be a data scientist. That is for sure. I am no mathematician. I am no statistician, but I managed to become a data scientist. So all what you need to know is some math, some statistics to help you make sense of your data. Make sure to help you make, to help you understand the quality of your data before you move on. Data science, machine learning in general is garbage in, garbage out. The more if you are feeding the data into a model, the quality of the output is heavily depends on the quality of the data. So to understand how the quality of your data, we are going to use some mathematical functions, probably some statistical concepts to help us make sense of the data. That is all what you need to know from the math and statistical standpoint. You don't have to be an expert to be a data scientist. Of course, you are going to be using computers, so you need to learn how to program, especially in R&D and Python. There are two easy to learn programming languages, and they are closer to human languages. There's high level programming languages, and of course, you need to know how to navigate through, you need to know some concepts, IT concepts in general. You don't have to be an expert, but the more you know, the better you'll be off. Skeptical, always as data scientists, you need to start asking questions. So data science starts with interesting questions that could be handled, could be to design some smart answers using the data. So you need to start asking questions. You need to start asking the business problem that you are working on. You need to start asking the data itself, how good the data is, how much data do we need, how large is a large, what is the quality of this data. And you need to start asking questions on the output, how accurate the output is. Do we have a good insight? How good these insights are? How do we measure the goodness of these insights? So that is questions that data science starts with questions, and you keep asking questions all the way, and you ask the output also. So that is called skeptical, always asking questions. And of course, as data scientists, you don't have to be a slave to a process. You always need to be creative and think out of the box. For a single problem, there could be probably 100 ways to solve it, but you need to be creative to find the best, the best method, or the optimal option, or the best solution for a certain problem. So you have to be creative. You have to think out of the box. You have to speak loud, think loud, and you don't have to be slave of a process. And finally, data science is a sport. Sport team means you will be working with the team, and data science is not an individual task. So you'll be working with a team of probably business users or business savvy, domain savvies, and data expert, and analytics. And it is you have to learn how to communicate. At the end of the day, you could be one of the smartest data scientists on the face of the planet, but if you are unable to communicate your finding, to explain your finding to the management and stakeholders who have different background, I think probably we should label your project as failed. So if you don't know how to communicate, regardless of what you did, regardless of the insight that you discovered, I think you are useless. So you have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn how to speak to stakeholders, bearing in mind that they have different backgrounds. In other words, so you have to speak one language that could be understood by, by the management and stakeholders, regardless of their background. So these are some of the, the competencies that you need to develop, design, or to work on, improve, if you want to become a superhero data scientist. Okay, as I said, data science is a team sport. It's not a one individual task that you could do and you are done with it. So you'll be working in a team, and in general, the team consists of people with three expertise. So in the team, you could have three people. You could have 25, you could have 50, it doesn't matter. But in general, the expertise you are going to need for a team is three. Number one, you are going to need the data science skill set. Someone who knows how to analyze the data, someone who knows some tools like Python, like R, like someone who knows some data science concepts like machine learning, deep learning, etc. So we are going to need a data scientist. And it could be a technical data scientist, someone who designs the algorithms or the modeling from scratch. Someone who establish, conduct, or the excuse me, the analytical project end to end. Excuse me. And that is called technical data scientist. Or a citizen business data scientist is someone who comes after the technical data scientist to monitor the progress of an algorithm or a model being implemented in production, to sustain it, to maintain it, and to fix it if something goes wrong. So you're gonna need a data scientist or someone with data skills, data analytics skills. Of course, you are gonna need a business analyst, or in general, you are gonna need a business expert and domain expert, someone who has a domain knowledge, so that could help us to make a better decision in our designing of a solution. And also business expert, someone who knows the business better, someone who can answer any business problem, any business questions we have, any question that we have under business itself or under business problem that we are trying to analyze. And of course, we are going to need someone with the data expert, someone who can tell us where the data is being stored, and how the data is being collected, what type of the data that we have. Someone who can explain someone who can design a data dictionary about the business problem. Someone who can explain the data itself. So we are going to need someone who can have a data expertise. And sometimes if you know that you are going to be building a model or building a system that would be implemented into production, of course, implementing a model or a system or an intelligent system to production, that is not my business as a data scientist. My business is to design and build the system. So we are going to need someone with the skills, development skills, to help us deploy the model into production. And if you know that you will be deploying the model into production, of course, you are going to need someone with development skills. So data science is a team. It's a team sport. You are going to need, you have to build your team. And your team, it doesn't matter how many participants in the team, but what matters is the expertise. You are going to have the quality of the team. So you are going to need people with at least 4 expertise: the domain expert, the business expert, data expert, analytics expertise, and development expertise. That is what need to be considered when you're designing or starting an analytical team within with your company or within your organization. So data science, so now we understood. A couple of minutes. So we understood the explosion of the data. We understood the importance of learning data science. We understood, the type of analytics. We understood what is data science. So now let's talk about how is the life of data scientist. How would you spend what is your day-to-day activities as a data scientist? So I'm going to share with you. This is a flow. This is a workflow of data science project. So the first thing you gotta do here, we start with business understanding, simply trying to quantify the problem that you've been hired for, or you're trying to analyze and find a smart solution or build an artificial intelligence system for it. So we spend time with understanding that. That is the first thing you gotta do. And we are gonna rely heavily in terms of the team. We are gonna rely heavily in this phase on someone who has some domain knowledge and business experts. So we are going to rely on business expert and domain experts. So once we clearly identify the business problem, transform it into quantify an analytical problem, framing it in the right way, then of course we are going to acquire the data. So data acquisition with the help of the data expert, We are going to get the data either from database, from IoTs, just name the source. And the data could come in a different format: structured, non-structured, quasi-structured, semi-structured data, etc. And so you're going to get the data from different sources, different format, and it is your job as data scientist to transform it into the rectangular arrays of data structure. In other words, into columns and rows. And if there is an image, you need to transform it into pixels, and yeah, transform the pixels into array. If there is a text, you need to transform it into sparsity matrix. If you have transaction data, it could be transformed into sparsity matrix, etc. So whatever data that you have, it's always better to transform it into tabular format, so you can apply any scientific method already been designed. So once you acquire the data, of course, we are going to explore the data. We are going to apply some statistical analysis, descriptive analytics, data visualization to help us understand how good the data that we have. We're trying to audit, the data exploration, or ADA, exploratory data analysis for short, helps you understand the quality of the data. And remember, as I said, it's machine learning. It's garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, if you feed the garbage into your machine learning a model, of course, we are not going to expect banana. We are expecting garbage. So, and to avoid having that type of scenario, we need to spend time exploring the quality of the data. So once we understand the quality of the data, of course, we are going to prepare it. We are going to try to decrease some of the qualities problem that we have in the data. So we could remove outliers, remove missing values, and if the data is not normally distributed, we have to normalize it. We have to transform the data from categorical into numeric. We have to validate the integrity of your data. We have to make some integration, etc. There is a whole list of things that you have to do to bring this data that you acquired and has a lot of quality problems, to bring it into an acceptable assumptions, acceptable format needed or assumed by an algorithm. An algorithm is simply a mathematical function. It requires a data to be in a certain shape or a certain format to be processed correctly. So once we have the data, and the shape that we want, of course, now it's time to build some models. So we are going to deploy some models, develop some models. It could be classification models, regression model, clustering models. It could be a reinforcement models, etc. It could be any type of modeling. And of course, once we build the model, and we could try as many models as possible. At the end of the day, we are going to pick only one with the highest accuracy. That is the model that's going to be our champion. And within that one model that is a champion now, there's always a room for improvement. So we are going to try to improve it by either changing the data, changing the sampling of the data, changing the partitioning of the data, changing the learning from the data, changing the parameters of the data, or even changing the parameters of the model. That is called the hyperparameter tuning. So we could do that, and at the end of the day, we are going to communicate the model into product, into the management. And if everything goes green, then it's time now to deploy the model into production, and the users or the business users would receive the output right away. So this is your life. This is your day-to-day activities as data scientist. So it's a cycle. Once you are done with one project, then you start another project, and someone could come after you to monitor the progress of the implemented model and implemented system into production. Okay, so Dr. Suhail, how much time we have?
We are almost out of time. Do you need a couple of more minutes, or?
Yeah, give me 2 more minutes. Then
Okay.
Let's talk about 2 more minutes,
Sure.
and we should be done. Excuse me, guys. So Now, and if you want to become a data scientist, I'm going to shorten the path for you. It was hard for me when I first started. I didn't know where to start. There's not enough information. There's not enough consulting people in the market. But Alhamdulillah, I managed to become a data scientist, and I would love to share my experience with you in terms of what you need to be a data scientist. So this is what I believe that you are going to need to be a data scientist. Number one, you are going to need some domain expertise. So if you are working in the healthcare, please stay with with the healthcare domain and try to add analytics to it. If you are working in IT, in sales, in management, accounting, doesn't matter. Just keep what you are doing and add analytics into it. Don't simply switch to analytics 100%. That is simply you are wasting your time. So add analytics. So you are going to need a domain expertise. Now just try to learn it and add analytics. Of course, in terms of programming languages, there are so many programming languages available in the market that could help you make become a data scientist. But the most common one, they are R and Python. And if you were to ask me which one to go with first, I would concentrate on Python. Both of them. They are easy to learn languages. You don't have to have a background to learn them. You could learn them without any background. And I've seen that. I've been teaching data science for the last 5 years, and I know I have so many students. They joined my program, our programs, with no prior no prior IT background, and towards the end of the program, they know how to use Python, or at least from data science. So of course, you are going to need some statistics, mathematics, probability. You don't have to be an expert, as I said, but at least you need to know how to measure your data, to measure the position of the data, the dispersion of the data, the shape of your data, the measures of the relationship. Then, of course, you need to apply some mean, median, variance, covariance, etc. This is a lot of statistics, and this terminologies here could help you to at least make sense of your data. Then, of course, you need to know some foundation, lingo, like big words like decision tree, random forest, data science, entropy. So this is some of the, there are most likely statistics terminologies, but they've been borrowed into data science, but you still need to know them and explain them, be able to understand the foundation, understanding how they work, and also understand how to explain them into a lay person. And finally, if I were to hire you as data scientist, I really don't care that much about where you got your training or what type of training that you have. All I care about as a hiring manager is how many business problems you solved in the past using the data, and how many business problems you are capable to solve using the data if I were to invest and hire you. In other words, you need to work on some project. There are so many projects online. You could join the Kaggle and start competing with others. And of course, you could list those projects in your resume. So this is the ultimate plan, and I'm going to stop here to see if you have any questions. And as a matter of fact, we have in the business, in the Big Bang Data Science Solution, the organization that, or the startup that I founded almost 5 years now. We are doing a lot of training in data science and analytics. And Alhamdulillah, the programs that we developed, they've been acquired by 2 universities in Latin America, which is great. That is the quality of the program. And they transformed them into 2 postgraduates, one in machine learning and one in data science. Alhamdulillah, that is the quality of the program that we were able to design for the last 4 years. So if you are interested in becoming data scientist, inshallah, we can help you. Now, if you need help in data science, regardless if you are taking our programs or not, please find me and contact me. I will be happy to assist you. Also, we are offering free data science programs. Right now, we are running a 12 months free program. It's called Python for Kids. If you have kids, you want them to learn Python, please join our program. It's free. It's taught by a professor, an American professor. It's free, and we are doing it for our communities. So please Now contact us if you have kids, you want them to learn data science. And today we have a webinar running from 2 to 6. If you are interested, please ping me. I will share the link to join live. So we are giving a lot to community because we believe this knowledge, the data science should be everywhere. We believe that our communities, our Muslim brothers and sisters, should really invest in learning data science. Should invest in to become a superhero data scientist or to become a data scientist. Thank you, brother, and thank you so much for your time. And now I'm open for questions, Brother Suhail or Dr. Suhail, if you have any
Yes.
questions.
So what I'd like to do, I don't know if the chat box for YouTube is working or not. My end, it doesn't show, there's some error message. So what I'd encourage, if you cannot put your question in the YouTube chat box, I'd say that you can send email to amset.association@gmail.com. Let me share that screen just to show that email. So this, you can see this email right here, amset.association@gmail.com.
You are not sharing.
I'm not sharing. Okay. So maybe you have to stop sharing, I think.
Yeah, let me see if I. Yes, no, yeah. No.
Okay, now it's sharing, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So so you can just send it to this email address, your question. I think we have some issue with the chat box on YouTube. So if you do that, then we can. I'll send that question over to Brother Mo for answer. But in the meantime, I think I have one question for you, Brother Mo, and that is,
Sure.
so this so much data that is being generated, as you have mentioned in your earlier slides. Now, of course, one of the job for the data scientist is to make sense out of them. But how about the security? I mean, do you also in your training programs, do you also teach that how to make sure your data is secured and it doesn't fall into the wrong hands?
Yeah, unfortunately, that is something that has to be taken care of at the corporate level or industry level. We only teach, we assume that the data is secure. Of course, the data is an asset. If you lose it, probably it could be out of the business. You could lose a customer. We know what happened with Facebook, with the WhatsApp and Facebook. The more the privacy. Once the privacy, they are red light. Red lines. Once you lose your privacy, once you expose your privacy, the privacy of your client to the public, of course, you are going to be at risk. So we assume that the data is being protected. Now we don't teach how to protect your data. We only teach you how to analyze your data. That protecting your data is out of the scope of a data science. It's something that needs to be managed at the different levels.
Okay, it's great. I don't see any questions yet. So maybe just give it a minute, and if you don't have any more questions, then we can wrap up. But I'll just give 1 more minute to see if there are any more questions in the email. I know I have to see how the chat box. Okay, there is one question from Jamal Shafi. So his question is, do you recommend getting a master's degree in data science?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a master degree, a PhD degree, an associate degree, a bachelor degree is just a piece of paper. Yes, this type of programs, this type of degrees, they are very important, but they might not get you a job. So what I recommend, if you are going after your master degree, you still need to do some extra work to get you to learn how to analyze the data. So you are gonna probably in a master degree. I have a master degree in. I completed my third master degree back in 2017, and trust me, I learned a lot from teaching data science, from reading outside the program, from improving my own myself by subscribing to so many programs online, other postgraduates. So a master degree is great, great thing to have, but it might not get you a job. If or what's going to get you a job is the experience. So on the top of master degrees, go and learn how to add some experience on the top of that. Then you should be fine getting a job getting a job you're looking for. Otherwise, a master degree is not going to get you a job. I have so many friends, they have a master's in analytics and they are still looking for jobs.
So again, if you have any questions, this is the email you can see on the screen. You can send your questions to this email address, amset.association@gmail.com. If you have more questions, we'll be still live for a couple of more minutes. So if you, I have one more question from Brother Aziz Dewri. And his question is how long it takes to finish the program. I think he's referring to your training program.
Okay, so for the training program that we offer, it's alhamdulillah, it's a high quality program. So it's 30 weeks, almost 8 months, 5 times a week, 3 hours per session. So roughly you will be trained between 15 to 20 hours a week for a duration of 8 months. At the end of this 8 months, so if you feel like you are ready, then we can help you with the resume preparation, interview preparation, and job placement free of charge. If you feel like you are not ready yet, we can train you in another 30 weeks free of charge. And we keep training you free of charge until you land the job of your dream.
Great. Any other questions? Again, you can send your questions to this email address shown on the screen, amset.association@gmail.com. Or next time we'll work on fixing the chat box, but right now the chat box is not working. So if you have any other questions, please send it to this email address, amset.association@gmail.com. Okay, I think that might be it for now. I don't see any other questions. Okay, so I think, thank you, Brother Mo, for your very informative session. And I hope that whoever attended today's session is going to take away quite a few, things from your talk, and hopefully, that'll help, our community by encouraging others. Also to get into this kind of program and also learn data science. So with that, I don't see any other questions. So inshallah, we will conclude our session today. And may Allah help us all in learning this important topic, and also be leaders in our communities, inshallah. And I would like to thank Brother Mo for taking the time today for this very informational session. And I hope that he will come on board next time.
Sure, brother. Yes. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I will be more than happy to conduct more advanced. This is an introductory session.
Sure.
I'm happy. I'll be happy to do more intermediate sessions and more advanced sessions in the nearest future, inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan, Brother Mo. And with that, we'll conclude our session. And we'll please stay tuned, and please check our announcement. If you want to subscribe to our channel, please subscribe here. Also, you can send us email at this email address that is shown. We can include you in our listserv so that you can be aware of what comes next. So inshallah, until then, we'll see you next time. And thank you for attending. Inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.